All right, let's continue then on this topic. We're now joined via Zoom by political analyst and regular guest here on SA Today, Dr Levy Ndou, to weigh in on this. Always a pleasure to have you on the show, Dr. Ndou. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Flo. Good afternoon to the viewers at home. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. As my colleague there, Abongile Tubako, did mention the fact that, calls are indeed mounting for President Cyril Ramaphosa to step aside. Should he accede to these calls? I mean, some arguing the fact that, well, he hasn't been charged. Why should he, in fact, step aside?
Well, this is a very difficult moment, I think, for the President and the ANC, and of course the whole of South Africa. The situation that Ramaphosa finds himself in is that he indeed has not been charged, and as per the resolution of the ANC, you actually have to step aside when you have been charged of a very serious crime. At the same time, you have got the parliament that appears to be having some of its members trying their best to exert pressure on the president through different mechanisms, either through the proposal of a motion of no confidence for him to be removed from office. Equally, Flo, you have got the regular principle in law and in society that says that you are actually innocent until you are proven guilty by the court of law. At the same time, the President of the Republic is not an ordinary citizen. This is the person who occupies the highest office in the land. And when you have got these kind of situations, you don't have to be surprised when you have got different calls that are coming from different directions, because that office would require someone who is then be able to who should be beyond reproach, but equally we adhere to the principle that we are all equal before the law, which I think that is one area that Ramaphosa is actually begging on. Yeah. He insists that he should be treated like any other citizen, and equally he is trying his best to cooperate with the law enforcement agencies.
You speak about what the different political parties are doing in the meantime as this comes up. The EFF, of course, as you mentioned there, saying that they plan to file a motion of no confidence in President Cyril Ramaphosa. Do you think that this motion by the EFF is justified? And do you see other political parties indeed supporting it? Clearly UDM will, as they've been quite vocal about the Phala-Phala Farm issue. But we've also heard from the DA saying that this sort of a thing is perhaps premature.
Well, I think what matters for now is that the EFF, the ATM, and other political parties might be trying to read the mood among South Africans. But what is critically important is that it is only Parliament that has the potential to remove the president from office. And I think what these other parties might have calculated is the fact that there appears to be clear divisions within the ANC. And what you do as an opposition party is to take advantage of the divisions that are there within the party. What also gives the other parties more zeal to come to this kind of a proposal is actually what has actually happened at Phala-Phala. And I think they know that most citizens are eagerly waiting to know what might have actually happened. Uncomfortable as he is, President Ramaphosa, it is the right time for parties to be able to push for this motion. But obviously, they will still have to canvass other members of parliament so that the motion is actually supported by a reasonable number of people so that the president at the end of the day can be removed.
Yeah, some still have faith that, the president can get out of this unscathed, saying, if the president were to take South Africans into his confidence and really just speak on the matter and openly what happened and the truth, that he may be able to indeed turn the tide on those who are saying that he should step aside, and some that are saying that they are planning to file a no confidence motion in him. Is there a possibility that the president can indeed turn the situation around by just, speaking out on what happened? I mean, he has said, listen, I'm not going to entertain this issue, and I'm asking that the law take its course. Would it be better for him to, in fact, just speak out on the issue?
It remains a difficult situation for the president and, of course, for all of us. The reason being that he is trying his best to cooperate, as he says, with the investigators on this matter. Equally, as ordinary citizens who would love to know exactly what has actually happened to the property of the president, which actually affects his safety, which also affects the trust that as ordinary citizens we might have on the president. And he actually talked about the way he has been advised that he should not speak out about this matter. And whether he speaks out now whilst the investigations are going on, or whether the investigations take longer, the suspense and the anxiety would always be amongst us. And that equally puts a lot of pressure on him to, at the end of the day, be able to speak. In the absence of facts on this matter, everybody will then be available to make his or her own comments regarding this matter, and the president would remain a victim because he will not be saying anything but only emphasizing his cooperation with the investigations. That puts him in a very, very tight corner.
All right, Dr. Levy Ndou, always a pleasure. Thanks so very much for giving us your time, as always, here on SABC News, sir.